if we look back historically through the past 5 and 10 years, these are the same things that are happening over and over again. So let's take a look at them. And as I mentioned, number one is fall prevention or fall protection requirements. And this is a construction standard. So as they are going out and visiting different construction facilities, different sites that are performing construction, renovation activities, these are the things that they're finding within this standard. People not wearing fall protection equipment. And this is something that I think most of us are kind of akin to seeing no matter where we are as we look at different construction projects that may be happening around our communities. This is something that we may tend to see a lot. People just not wearing those fall harnesses, not being aware of the need to protect themselves when they are working at heights, or not using the right equipment. Not using the right equipment is something that is typically happening with smaller construction facilities. Maybe they aren't aware of the right equipment to use, or they can't afford it, or whatever the reason may be. I once had a customer who was looking for fall protection equipment, and she had people working at heights, and she was told, she was a purchasing agent, and she was told to get fall equipment for a platform that they were using that was 20 feet long. Her guys weren't used to using the fall protection equipment, and she wanted to purchase lanyards that were 20 feet long. They were only working at a height of 12 feet, and she just didn't understand why we wouldn't sell her a 20-foot lanyard for a platform that was only 12 feet high. And by explaining it to her, look, your guys are at least 5 or 6 feet tall. You're only 12 feet high. That isn't going to properly protect them. So perhaps it's not understanding it, whatever the case may be. Improper equipment is being used a lot in the field. Guarding sides and edges, again, something that we're seeing a lot. People not putting up the guardrails that they need, or putting up those visual indicators to keep people away from them. Falling off of roofs, especially in residential construction, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but having the correct procedures, having the correct programs, having the correct equipment in place to prevent people from falling, especially in those residential construction. So how can we get rid of these injuries? How can we stop having these violations? One is to really look at your hazards daily. Construction is a field. It's not like you're making the same widget time and time again. Your procedures may need to change daily. They may need to be changed hourly as far as construction projects go. But recognizing that you are in that fluid environment and you may need to reassess your hazards continually, making sure that your protection is safe for what you're doing right now, not necessarily for what you were doing last week or yesterday even. Look at your fall protection suppliers. They are fantastic resources. When you've got equipment that you're purchasing from them, very often they will come help you with training. They will help you perform those hazard assessments. They'll make sure that your employees are in the proper things that they need to do that job, to do it correctly, and to do it safely. And they've got fantastic resources, not just trying to sell you a product, but making sure that you've got that training and that support that you need to do it correctly to keep everybody safe. And look at industry standards. There are a lot of different industry standards that are available for fall protection. There are a lot of great resources out there. As I mentioned, suppliers are one of them. But there are a lot of great organizations that have put together a lot of different guidelines, a lot of sample programs that can help you to create your own program. There are a lot of templates out there that you can use to take the best from each one and make a program that's going to work best for your facility, your operations, your specific needs.